for your group, as we were talking about, as they're trying to sort through some of the randomness? How important was it to, establish the tone on the defensive end and get back to that part of your identity to carry the offense?
Well, first, it was great to get back home, right, in front of our fans, who have always been fantastic and have been that, So, yeah, it was great for our guys to find a rhythm defensively, to know exactly what we wanted to do and how we wanted to play, hanging our hats on that end of the floor.
You've talked so much recently about fast starts. You guys get out 6-0, I think. What was the key to that tonight, and how much did that help you guys as the game went on?
Our defense. I think we started off with 3 or 4 steals right away, being aggressive. I think we hadn't been starting off that way. And so our ability to come out tonight and do that, they challenged them. They challenged each other to come out and do that. And I think that, that was the early parts of the game of what we saw.
Jamal, I know you're happy, obviously, with the win, but what needs to improve on offense to get a better flow and to execute better?
I think defensively, I think we have to start and continue to get easy baskets. The flow of the game, as it started off early, happened to be Franz attacking the basket, getting downhill, 17 points in the first quarter. So I think that was a big portion of why things were flowing a little easier early. And as the game went on, I think we let go of it a little bit and allowed them to get back in the game with their pressure and the way they mix up the defenses. But again, I think a big portion of it is also going to come back down to, that ball going in the hole. You're 8 for 32 from 3. But we were still able to attack the basket the way we need to, because that's our strength right now, with 74 points in the paint.
Coach, you just mentioned it, the 74 points in the paint. Looked like you guys were really emphasizing a lot of off-ball movement tonight in your offense. What did you like about the way that your guys were moving away from the ball and trying to keep the thing moving?
Well, I really liked that flow of it, right? It didn't get stagnant. There was moments of it, but I think for the most part, our guys did a good job of trying to move off the ball. Guys cutting to the basket. We found, again, there was a lull, which is part of the game and the way it flows, but I think our guys did a really good job of bouncing back the right way, and then again getting our defense set to be able to push it and get easy baskets. And to New Orleans' credit, they threw some different lineups out there. They threw different coverages out there. So us being able to settle down and recognize what they were doing is very important.
Coach, we oftentimes talk about this team being by committee, especially when a guy like Paolo goes down. But 2 strong games from Franz back-to-back, 27-plus points, 6 assists. When you talk to him, does he feel an added sense of responsibility to lead this team and to get fast starts and kind of set the tone?
I think he's just such a competitor. He's going to do whatever it takes, whatever's necessary to try to put this team on his back and figure out a way to get a win. And he continues to play the right way. And I think that's so important. We ask him to be aggressive, ask him to make the right plays, and he's trying to do that. And I think that's what we have to continue to ask from him on every night.
You consistently praise the coaching staff and the players for having the next man up mentality. And what have you just seen from Goga over these last handful of games? The offense looks extremely comfortable out there with the other guys on the floor. Just really your impressions of what he's been playing like.
Exactly that. His ability to protect the rim defensively, I think, is a big key. His pick and roll coverages, he does a great job of communicating. And then offensively, you can play through him at times. And, we talked about how much we were cutting and moving off the basketball, and I think he did a great job of facilitating a lot of that. And the guys trust him there because they know he has a high basketball IQ, and he knows exactly what we're trying to accomplish.
You talked a little bit about Franz there a little bit ago, but how difficult is it for him to kind of go into that kind of top of the scouting report type guy, and what are the conversations like with him as he's maybe getting a feel for how defenses are playing him now that Paolo's not on the floor, and what he has to do to help lift the rest of his teammates up?
We've talked about Franz, one, his competitiveness, but then the other side is his IQ. He's seen it. Our coaches do a great job of watching film with him. Like, there was multiple times last year, he's getting double teamed, so he knows the right read to make, the right play. He's drawing trying to find the right opening, within the defense. So he's done a great job of that. And I think, the more he sees it, the more he'll recognize it, and then again make the right play as time goes on.
How is Jonathan doing?
Jonathan's okay, right hamstring tightness.
One last more for me. For Cole to go through what he's gone through to start the season, he gets all 12 minutes in the fourth quarter tonight. What can this type of performance do for him when he's making hustle plays like that?
Well, what I think it says is what we talked about earlier today is just guys staying ready. And I think that's something that Cole did, and he does. He's been fantastic on the bench. He's one of the first ones up, cheering his teammates on. And then when his number's called, he stayed ready. He put the extra work in conditioning before practice, after games. He stayed ready, and that's what we're asking all these guys to do because it is a next man up mentality.
For your group, coming off a tough stretch and still trying to find yourself offensively, how important was it to set the tone defensively tonight and help use that to fuel your offense?
Super important. That's what our identity is as a team, and that's what we take pride in. So when all this is failing, we trying to just click back into locking up and creating offense through our defense for sure.
How would you evaluate your performance tonight on the individual level?
I would say it was okay. I think I was aggressive in spots. Obviously want to do a better job of putting a full game together. Personally, that's just something I feel like I haven't done yet this year. So besides that, I think decent job, played hard on defense, and some good takes to the rim.
You mentioned how important the defense was early on. How important has it been the last 2 games for that Franz comes out kind of really aggressive and setting the tone, trying to get to the basket?
Super important. It's no secret that's our guy right now. So just getting him going is important for us, not just for tonight, but going forward. So, we're telling him to keep being aggressive, keep shooting the ball, keep getting to the rim, and just be you out there and let us play off of you, really. So, definitely good that he's going, and we need him to keep that going. So we're trusting in him.
Anthony, you guys had 27 assists tonight, 74 points in the paint. What did you like about your guys' off-ball movement and your ability to get to the rim tonight?
I think we did a good job of establishing early like a paint presence, and Boog did a good job first quarter getting to the rim. Some other dudes getting to the rim, so that kind of opened up, just helping. So open up assist. It all starts with us getting to the rim. So from there we make plays, shoot shots. We make some, don't make some, but yeah.
Anthony, Kenny did a really good job of filling up the box score tonight, both sides of the floor, making his impact felt. How much do you think he's made an impact, not necessarily just on you, but really just this group as a whole, being that veteran, on and off the court?
On the court, he's given us a lot, He's guarding some of the best players in the league, shooting the right shots, making shots. So, he's doing that. And then, obviously, off the court, even on the court while he's not in, he's just a great leader. It's great having somebody who's won 2 championships and just has that kind of just mentality about him. So it's definitely been good having him as a voice. He gets onto the team when we need him to, but, he's just a good voice for us, a good calming presence, too, for sure.
AB, you're the first guy off the bench this season leading the second unit, different role than you had as a rookie. Can you just talk about your development from rookie season to this season and kind of the role you've taken on this season?
I think just personally what I'm being asked to do is just kind of push the pace, get into the paint, and then just be aggressive to score or make plays there. So I'm trying to my development was just getting back to getting to the paint because I feel pretty confident once I get to the paint. So just figuring out ways to get past my man, use the pick and roll, play in transition. And, big emphasis was getting to the free throw line as well. So definitely trying to be more physical and just have that type of presence in the paint.
How has your defense improved?
I think I got stronger this offseason, so I feel better taking bumps from certain players at, certain wings that might be a little bigger than me. So physically I feel a little bit better, and I think just having a year under my belt, I understand NBA defense a little bit better. So I feel like I'm in position to make plays more often than I was last year.
I think doing some quick math here, looking at the stat sheet, I think you guys had 56 points off the bench tonight. J.I. spoke a little bit this morning about the importance of you guys needing to get it going a little bit offensively. What did you like about the way your second unit handled the offense tonight?
Just honestly, we were active, super active on both sides. J.I. had a lot of cuts. Mo was playing out of the pocket. We were getting open looks. So, I think we did a good job of just honestly using our defense to just instill confidence in us on the offensive end. And we're just playing, just kind of flowing out there, like less thinking, more just playing.
You mentioned early how important the defense was early in the game. How critical is having that defense kind of set up the way it is when you kind of go through some of those offensive lulls like you guys did in the second and the third quarter? Like, how critical was the defense to kind of getting things revved back up in the third quarter?
Defense for us, especially our team, is just super important. When all things aren't going well, we talk about using our defense to just create offense, like steals, defensive rebound and push. That's something we hang our hat on. So when all else is going bad, we try to rely on defense, just create some easy looks for us, maybe some runouts, steals, just stuff like that.
Thank you, AB. But if you watch down,
Mo, you've talked at length over time about the importance of defense being your group's calling card. As you guys are, going through a tough stretch, how important was it to lock in on that end especially and use it to fuel your offense tonight?
I think, honestly, it's tough to say after a 5-game losing streak, but we've been doing a pretty good job on that end. Obviously, it's a lot easier to kind of catch runs offensively at home because the crowd kind of carries you. But it's just about being disciplined, diligent, and keep kind of trusting the process because we've been pretty good on that end.
You talked about continuing to trust the process, and the guys have said that you guys felt like you played better down the stretch of that 5-game losing streak. But to have this win, what can you build off of this? Just getting back on the right track.
Again, I don't really buy into the winning and losing stuff because I'll go stir crazy if I do. It's 82 games. If I go home mad after every loss and happy as hell after every win, I'll be crazy at the end of the season. So I'm kind of trying to look at what we do on the floor, look how we are coached, and I think every single game on the road we played really, really solid, offensively and defensively. Just didn't make shots. We didn't score. And sometimes it goes like that. Obviously, it's different with Paolo out. It's a lot of shots on the board that now we have to rearrange. And we're still a young team, so there's some room for growth. And but I don't buy into the idea just because we lost, we played bad. I think this team does a really good job on both ends of the floor.
You mentioned the team kind of having to rearrange. How critical? How much of that falls on Franz, and how critical was it for him to get off to the start that he did, scoring 17 in the first quarter?
I mean, yeah, obviously it's one of our best players. I think a lot of attention for the opposing team towards him. He's a very important player for us. And I'm happy when he smiles because he gets a little grumpy sometimes. So,
Mo, you guys had 74 points in the paint tonight. AB just came in here and talked about how your guys' offense derives from getting to the rim and then making plays happen from there. But to have such a conversion rate there, what kind of boost does that provide for you guys to be able to kind of impose your will down low?
It's funny that he said that because that's literally what he's got to do every single play, in my opinion. I tell him that all the time. You got to be super aggressive. He's so tall and quick and twitchy that you can't really guard him going into the paint. And obviously that's what we've been doing these last 4 years, trying to score in the paint. It's our DNA, and then make the right play in the paint when you're guarded by multiple people. That's not going to change. Win or lose, that's who we are, trying to get to the foul line and be aggressive towards the rim. And I think these last 2 games, it's translated into points in the paint. Sometimes it translates into open shots on the 3-point line. So it's not always as easy as it seems, but obviously that's part of our DNA.
Mo, I know injuries are part of the game, and no team goes unscathed. But how much of a psychological blow is it to lose Paolo for a month or more?
It's always a matter of perspective. To be honest with you, when that stuff happens, first of all, I'm sad for the player. That's the biggest point for me. There's a human side to this. This is our life. So when you hear you're out for 5 weeks or whatever it is, that just plain sucks. So I feel for him. We play a game here. That's a fine. You late? That shirt? Or nice. Nice. I feel for the player, and then that's part of the NBA. And honestly, I'd be happy. I'll be honest. I'd be happy that it happens in the beginning of the season. You know, this would be awful during the playoffs. So we'll be fine. And he's been amazing with his attitude and energy, and that goes a long way for us players to see our best player handle this like he does every day. That doesn't give us an excuse, you know. So we got to get up every day and do our job, and he'll be back, and we'll move on.
All right, Mo, you've been one of the veterans of this group, and you've spent time previously in your career with KCP. When you look at it more so off the court, you know, how has he continued to make his impact felt on this team, especially some of the young guys, just instilling that veteran leadership and that championship pedigree?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest misunderstanding in the league is always that you got to do everything, and I think the biggest challenge for young players is to find their role, find their niche, and you need someone to show you that, to understand that, and KCP does that every day. He knows exactly what he's great at, and he does it every single day. And obviously, I think he's won 2 rings with 2 different teams, so we better listen when he talks, you know. So you can see that on and off the court, and we need that maturity. No worries. You got it, bud.
Franz, for your group in particular, how pleased were you with the defensive effort tonight to lock in, hold them under 90 points, and use that to fuel your offense?
Yeah, I thought it was good for the most part. I think there were still, 1, 2, maybe 3, stretches in the game where we didn't play our best, for a couple of minutes in a row. Obviously, I understand that we're not going to be perfect, but I thought we responded really well after their run before halftime, and that's what it's about.
Yep, Franz, two strong games for you here, 27+ points, 6 assists. Without Paolo, in the lineup now for a month or two, what's it like kind of for you, taking that top leadership role on the team and just, with defenses focused on you and game planning for you? How is that different for you, if at all?
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, a little mindset shift. I think everybody has to have that a little bit with P and Wendell out, knowing that there's more opportunity for guys. And, it's no different for me. Just try to play my game, be really aggressive, keep my composure as well. I think it's really important, understanding, kind of my role in the team. And then just try to be aggressive and make plays, and also be okay with, sometimes making mistakes and understanding that, defense is, really locked in on me for the game.
To kind of building off of that, how important was it then, last game and this game to come out and play as you have in the first quarter and really kind of set that tone of, I'm getting to the basket, or maybe even like saying, I'm going to set the tone to make sure that we're ahead and we're not going to lose this game.
Yeah, I think I had a good mentality coming into both games. Whether it ends up being me scoring or impacting the game in other ways, I think that's my mentality coming into the game. Like you said, set the tone, and whether it ends up with me scoring points or just us as a group just coming out with the right mindset, I think that's my goal.
Franz, you mentioned not only Paolo's out, but Wendell's out. Goga's stepped into the first unit in his absence. What have you seen from him so far as he's kind of taken on that starting role?
Yeah. It's not easy to do that, man. To not play that many minutes and then come in and play big minutes in a lot of games. So, I think it's a credit to his work and just staying ready. And I think Goga, he's done that in the past years already. So I'm not surprised at all. I thought he did a great job last couple of games of, kind of creating extra opportunities for us and making it really difficult for guys to. When someone's attacking, he's active around the basket, and especially defensively, I think he, sometimes doesn't get the credit that he deserves. And I think, like I said, I think the whole situation is it's going to help us down the road. Everybody gets opportunity and gets playing time, and that's what you need in a long season.
Franz, I know you're all about the team, but coming into this season, in what ways are you a better player than you were 6 months ago, whenever last season ended?
Yeah, hopefully, my shooting. Obviously, that's big for my game, for our team. I try to play with the, play the same game, same way every game with the right mentality, and I think, just also knowing that I'm going to be here for a while. Hopefully, I think it just, we're all human beings, and I think that can take a lot of pressure sometimes off, and I think that's big for me. Just knowing that people want me here, and knowing the responsibility I have too. I think that's as a young player, that's super cool to have, and that's something that everybody grows up wanting to be. So I take that really serious, and my approach is not going to change. So hopefully I can keep improving.
You just talked about Goga getting thrusted into the starting lineup, guys having an opportunity in a role, and one of those guys has been rookie Tristan Da Silva. Just through 10 games throughout his season, obviously now being in the starting lineup, how have you seen him continue to get more comfortable out there?
Yeah, it's just the first 10 games. I think it's a great situation for him to be able to come in and play so many minutes, and I think you can tell when you watch him, he just knows how to play. He's always in the right spot. Makes quick decisions out there, and that makes the game really easy for everybody around him. So, it's just 10 games, and I think he's already, getting used to the NBA game, and obviously he's going to continue to, learn a lot and, get more used to it. But I think he's done a great job so far.
Thank you, Boogie.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.